Hi, this is Nicole, and I'm back with another Workbook Workshelf Wednesday. Today's going to be very brief. I've been cycling through a lot of our old activities from 5 videos ago. Because now this is episode 6, and we have so many activities that we just cycle through, and I like to keep going with them until they master them. So I bring them in and change them out every couple of weeks just to keep it fresh and new, but then again to challenge them and at the same time keep those activities fresh in their mind. But today is brief. I just wanted to show you a couple of things that I'm going to be having on their trays. This is awesome right here. I'm going to link in the description box this printable that I found, which is amazing because my second son's, his speech therapist started talking about pattern recognition. She's like, oh, it's great. He recognized that pattern. And I just never thought that he needs to recognize patterns. It just escaped me, but he's 3, and these are little pattern recognition strips. What I'm going to do is I'm going to put them on a hole punch them and put them in a binder ring. Again, I printed them out, I cut them out, and I put them on cardstock, and then I did my favorite thing, which is laminated with the packing tape, and it turned out really smooth and really great this time. So what it is this is an AABB pattern recognition sequence here. So it's, yellow, yellow, blue, blue, yellow, yellow, obviously blue, blue. And then she includes in this printable 4 of these little bears here. So I cut those out and I also put those on cardstock and then laminated them. And then he would just put the blue bear right there to continue the recognition pattern. So here's another sequence. This is ABC, ABC. So yellow, green, blue, yellow, green, blue, yellow, and obviously green would be next. So he would put the green bear. So there's about 4 or 5 different sequences that are in here, which is great. Okay, for their pattern recognition and development. So I'm going to try this with my 3-year-old and then play around with it with my 2-year-old and see if he catches on to the patterns as well. I thought this was really cool. Match It spelling. I've had this for years. I think I picked this thing up for $4 on discount at Wegmans, which is a grocery store out here that sells everything. And my 5-year-old loves this. He was using it since he was 3, and now my 3-year-old's using it. It says 4 and above, but I think a lot of kids can get this at a younger age because they're simply doing a puzzle, and they're big puzzles at that. So, this would say bird. So they would simply just do the actual puzzle of the bird, and in doing that, afterwards, you just go back and say B-I-R-D, bird, B-I-R-D, bird. And you can go phonetically, bird, just so that they can start to get that phonetic recognition of how, a lot of these very familiar words are spelt. So he loves this. He spent like an hour doing this yesterday. I couldn't rip him apart from this. So this is great. Here's another printable that I recently found. I'm not finished with this project yet, but this is going to be lacing cards. So what I'll do is I will get my individual hole puncher and punch out these holes and laminate them. I don't think I'll be doing these with packing tape. I think I'm going to actually go over to the learning store and get these laminated. But here you go. You have number lacing cards, and they're 1 through 10. And again, all I did was cut them out and I laminated them. And another thing that I liked about these is that they have the number of stars in the bottom, so you can go back and reinforce 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, just for that 1-to-1 correspondence with the counting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, just to reinforce that. So this is cool, and I'll show you the finished product when I'm done, because I'm going to have to go out and buy shoelaces to actually use with these. Another way that you can use these is you can not hole punch them and just use them as number tracing cards as well. So there's many ways that you can use that, so I'll link that as well. I'm bringing back this from last week, but in a different way. I just want to show you that there's numbers of ways that you can use one activity to make it new and exciting every time. Last time I used the magnetic pom-poms with it. This time I'm using Play-Doh. Again, Play-Doh is good for fine motor skill development and sensorial skills as well, depending on how you color it or how you scent it, or you can add, like glitter or things to it. But pretty much they can roll out Play-Doh dots to represent each number. So I thought that that was really cool, and just show your kid how to roll it out, and different ways to mold it with their fingers, and just have them stick them on the actual dot. So that's another fun way to use one activity, two different ways. And then finally, another thing with Play-Doh that I can use, or one thing that you can use multiple different ways. Here is my 3-year-old's learning notebook, and usually I have him trace the numbers and trace the letters and trace the shapes. But what you can also do is, again, use the Play-Doh. And they can just roll out long little Play-Doh worms, I guess you can say, and create the number that way. 4. So you help them roll it out if they are having a difficult time, or my 3-year-old does a good job rolling it out himself. 4. That's a 4. And another thing that I found it's good for is when I'm doing his shapes with him, because right now we're really focusing on polygons and understanding that a pentagon has 5 sides and that a square has 4 sides, a trapezoid has 4 sides, but one side is shorter. Things like that. Again, you say 5 sides, they roll out 5 little worms out of the Play-Doh, and they create the pentagon out of the Play-Doh. So again, this is a different way to use the same activity. So you can get, so many different activity trays by using the same exact thing in a different way. So I just wanted to show you these few activities that I'm remixing or making, or in the current making, or that I've rediscovered. So again, rediscover what you already have, use it in different ways, go online, find free resources that you can use. There's a number of things that you can do without having to spend a whole bunch of money to create really cool activities for your preschoolers. So I hope that you have found this helpful, okay? Have a great day.